developments in the wake of that powerful and deadly earthquake that rocked Myanmar and neighboring Thailand.
Yeah, the 7.7 quake striking near Myanmar's second largest city at midday local time. At least 150 people are confirmed dead, and U.S. officials expect that number to rise into the thousands. Let's get the latest from Fox 5's Teresa Briola live in the newsroom. Teresa?
Yeah, Natasha and Steve, the search continues in 2 countries for survivors, but the efforts are hampered not only by the instability of many of the buildings, but in Myanmar, the ongoing civil war is making the flow of information incredibly difficult.
Dashcam video on a Bangkok highway shows the sheer might of the earthquake that rattled the region Friday. This building sways and collapses. The video on its own dramatic, and then reality sets in. The epicenter was nearly 1,000 miles away. Others in Bangkok, the world's most visited city, tried to get to safety too. At this hotel, the building rocks so dramatically, the rooftop swimming pool spills over.
The building started really moving, and a lot of screaming, a lot of panic, people running the wrong way down the escalators.
Then I got up, and then I felt myself swaying a little bit.
I thought I was fainting because everything suddenly shaking.
The 7.7 magnitude quake hit Mandalay, Myanmar, formerly known as Burma, early Friday morning, devastating one of the world's poorest countries. The initial death toll has eclipsed 140, and it is expected to rise. But the exact numbers aren't known because the country has been in an ongoing civil war since 2021, which is complicating the recovery efforts. Michael Steckler is a geophysicist who studies that region of Southeast Asia.
The strain builds up, and after a while, it breaks. So that fault's moving about 20 millimeters a year. That strain's been building up, and it jumped about 5 meters. Yeah, there are earthquakes along that fault. I think the last one in this segment of the fault was 1839.
The earthquake has produced powerful aftershocks. It's unclear how frequent future earthquakes will be now that the fault has failed.
Now, the United Nations has allocated $5 million to start relief efforts. President Trump said the U.S. was going to help also with the response. Steve.
All right. Thanks, Teresa. And breaking tonight, Columbia University's interim president is stepping down. The Board of Trustees announcing Katrina Armstrong is returning to lead the university's Irving Medical Center. A Board of Trustee co-chair will take over as acting president until a replacement's found. The shakeup comes after Columbia announced several policy changes, including new rules for demonstrations after President Trump moved to cut $400 million in federal funding at the university.
And police are investigating a deadly shooting on Staten Island. It happened around 2:30 this afternoon. Officers say they found a 25-year-old man unconscious and unresponsive in front of a building on Bay Street in St. George. He died a short time later at the hospital. So far, no arrests have been made.
And more bad news tonight for drivers who use I-80. Officials say they found a significant void under the left lane of I-80 westbound. That means all westbound lanes will remain closed in Detroit and Wharton for at least 5 more weeks, and eastbound lanes for at least 7 weeks. Officials believe the sinkholes that have formed under the highway since December have been caused by old mine shafts that run beneath it. A federal judge in Newark says today on Wall Street. Closing bell signaling more concerns the economy is going in the wrong direction. Investors worry it's slowing down because consumers believe tariffs will make inflation worse and prevent the Fed from cutting interest rates. The Dow is down more than 700 points. The Nasdaq fell by nearly 500 points, with tech stocks taking a major hit, while the S&P had one of its worst days in 2 years. There's a casino conundrum heating up in Queens. 3 gaming licenses are up for grabs in downstate New York, and Mets owner Steve Cohen wants one of them.
Yeah, he's hoping to build a massive gaming and entertainment complex near Citi Field. It's been getting local support, but not everyone in the community shares that vision. Fox 8's Duarte Geraldino has more on the back and forth over Metropolitan Park.
Instead of a casino that preys on our community, we need real investments. We need affordable housing, good jobs.
People from all over Queens got together on Friday in front of the Flushing Public Library. They demanded elected officials stop a proposal to turn a 50-acre parking lot next to Citi Field into a casino and entertainment complex called Metropolitan Park. They say the $8 billion plan would fuel gambling addiction, push out families and small businesses, not to mention damage the environment.
Flushing Bay receives 2 billion gallons of your poop every single year. Okay? This project will increase the burden on Bowery Bay Wastewater Treatment Plant.
Do not support this casino. Do not gamble on Steve Cohen.
Mets owner Steve Cohen and Hard Rock Entertainment backed Metropolitan Park, which includes a casino, hotel, food hall, park space, and a 5,000-seat music venue. But before anything breaks ground, developers need Albany's approval. The site is legally parkland, so the state must pass a measure called a parkland alienation, and there's another hurdle. The project still needs one of 3 downstate casino licenses. Without it, the plan won't move forward.
I'm here today to call on Governor Hochul to not allow parkland alienation into the state budget, which passes April 1st.
In a statement to Fox 5, a Metropolitan Park spokesperson says 6 out of 6 community boards, the borough president, city council, and the local community all overwhelmingly approve of Metropolitan Park. We are committed to delivering this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to our community along with its 23,000 union jobs, 25 acres of public park space, and over $1 billion in community benefits. But opponents say that doesn't reflect the whole story. Now, with the state budget deadline days away, critics are making a last push, urging lawmakers to protect public land and prioritize communities over casinos. Duarte Geraldino, Fox 5 News.
Vice President J.D. Vance saying today that Denmark has underinvested in Greenland security and demanded Denmark change its approach as President Trump continues to talk about taking over the Danish territory. The remarks came as Vance visited U.S. troops on a base on the mineral-rich island. The Danish Prime Minister has said that he wants to work with the U.S. on defense and security, but Greenland is not for sale. Well, pumping the brakes on pumping your own gas.
All right, New Jersey, the last state standing to require full-service gas stations, but one lawmaker with his sights set on the governor's mansion is looking to change that.
Plus, Fox 5 and My 9 are your broadcast home for the New York Liberty, and now the reigning WNBA champs are getting a new physical home of their own. We're going to show you the plans for their new practice facility.
Well, it's a debate that's been dividing people living in New Jersey for years. Should the state allow drivers to pump their own gas? A new bill in the state legislature has revived the issue yet again. Republican Senator John Bramnick, who's also running for governor, has introduced a bill that would allow some pumps to be self-serve.
Not anti-Jersey. It's something we've had for a very, very long time, and I'm giving an opportunity for legislators and the people to weigh in on this as an option for people who don't want to wait in line.
All right, that issue came up in 2022, but never made it out of committee. Let's talk big moves, not on, but off the basketball court. The 2024 champion New York Liberty are getting a dedicated new practice facility.
That's right. Fox 8's Jennifer Williams shows us what's planned for the $80 million, 75,000 square foot center in Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
We're trying to push women's sports to heights that's never been seen before.
And now the reigning WNBA champs, the New York Liberty, are investing in the women's game in a big way with a new $80 million practice facility.
There's going to be an outdoor court that's going to host different basketball clinics and community events, and they're going to open a team store and a coffee shop. So they're building community, building spaces for fans to come together.
The team announcing the construction of a 75,000 square foot facility in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, which will be fully funded by the team's ownership group.
Finally, after years of searching, we found the right space in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, on the river, overlooking the Manhattan skyline, and also close to Barclays Center.
The project designed with plenty of player input.
To have a space like a locker room that is just ours, where there is like no through traffic or anything like that, was also a big thing for us too. To just kind of have like that personal space and also sometimes have those tough team conversations.
The fact that the team specifically asked Breanna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, and Sabrina Ionescu what they wanted from a facility. To me, that was a very smart move when it comes to trying to get those 3 players to stay for the long term.
Like Unrivaled, the 3-on-3 league Liberty star Breanna Stewart co-founded, there will also be private family lounges and nursery areas.
Breanna Stewart is a mom. They really had infrastructure for families. So it's really, again, very interesting to see how the Liberty have adopted something that Breanna Stewart also was very much so a part of.
For a long time, women's sports have operated with less resources than men's sports, and investments in facilities like this help to close that gap.
The facility is projected to open in 2027. Jennifer Williams, Fox 5 News.
Wow, that looks
Yeah,
so nice. All right, the weekend finally here, and it's bringing the heat.
All right, forget March. Tomorrow could feel like summer. Nick's talking 80 degrees next.
It's on Friday. I'll be on the
Partial solar eclipse set to take over the sky early tomorrow morning. It's going to happen quickly here in New York City. Sunrise is at 6:44 a.m. The expected maximum coverage, which is 22%, happens at 6:46 a.m. And the cycle ends less than 20 minutes later. If you want to catch a sight of the partial solar eclipse, make sure you use protective eclipse glasses, not just regular sunglasses, because it's never safe to look directly at the sun.
Yeah, you don't want to get anything from Amazon.
Yeah, no,
That's
for
not
sure.
approved.
Yep.
All right, let's check the weather now with Nick, and hopefully the cloud cover, Nick, is going to be good if you want to see that.
Fingers crossed. And remember, it's going to be a low angle in the sky right after sunrise. So I think we're going to get enough breaks in the clouds, Steve and Natasha, that might be very possible. Solar eclipse. So see if you can check it out if you want to wake up that early and do so. 6340.